What's up, everybody? It's your host, Brody Frye, and today we're going to be talking about becoming great. Not that I am, but I am on the path, and I also know people who are. So we're going to be talking about some of the tips and tricks that I've picked up along this path. So should be fun, should be informative, and yeah, I really have fun with these bonus episodes, so thank you guys for tuning in. Also, if you guys could please, if you're enjoying this, 5-star review, would love that. That'd be great. Really help out. Leave a review, like, follow, share. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much, and let's rock and roll this intro. Hey everyone, it's Brody Frye, and here we dive deep into difficult questions. We'll map out thoughts, theories, and crazy ideas for the love of knowledge and growth. So, how do we answer some of the mind's toughest questions? This is the Mind Hiking Podcast. All right, guys. Yeah, let's do this. Let's kick some ass. I'm pumped for this episode. Got no sleep last night, but for some reason the juices are flowing. Had to start an hour early at work today because of an issue, which was awesome. Nothing but problems all day long. It was great. And got home from work, burst through the door, walked into the studio, and I am ready to go. Just straight in here, and I'm feeling like an energy depletionless beast. Let's do this. This stand actually makes for a good point to kick things off with. So I've actually heard many times before people like asking me where I get this energy from, or how can I keep going, or like where does this come from? And it's like so many people like to assume, like not just the energy, but the repetition and the day in and day out stuff. Like that's the struggle with most people, is just keeping up with those levels, those energy levels, keeping them up for this day in and day out. And it's tough to do. And this is kind of where people start to decline in their happiness, and you might start seeing some symptoms of depression. But keeping these levels up, a lot of people like to assume that it's willpower, and you hear that a lot, and especially in a lot of like self-help books, just using your willpower to, they talk about how strong your willpower is, and yeah, it's one thing to have like a stronger willpower than the majority. It's easy to have that strong willpower. If you set your mind to something, you can pretty much do it. But, and this is a big but, that source is limited. Willpower is a limited source. That's not something that you can just use and use and use and use, and you're going to dry it up, and you have to replenish that too. That's not something that you can just use your willpower for everything every day, on and over again. That will be depleted, especially the more you use it, and you have to be sure to fill that up as well. So that's kind of a common misconception. So that's not, I do personally use willpower a lot, but it's more of like a short burst where like you're exhausted, but something else needs to be done, and you force yourself to just get it done because it's going to help for the next day or whatever it is. Little examples everywhere. But yeah, willpower is powerful. It is strong, but it's kind of like a short burst, and it's not something to use for long periods of time, like especially multiple days in a row. So the real secret is discipline. And that might sound similar or the same to some people, but hang on, let me explain. Discipline, you use that to set systems in place, to create a rhythm. Now this really plays into willpower. You can use this together. When you've decided what you want to do, what your change is, or what you want to put, say, just an easy example, going to the gym. Say you want to start getting up at 5 a.m. and going to the gym right away. How do you go about doing that? Yeah, you can use your willpower, but that's going to get burnt out. You can use your willpower to just force yourself up and go. And I've tried that, and you can only do that for so long until you learn this secret. Use discipline. When you use discipline, you can put systems in place. And so the way you can use these two together is you use your willpower to initiate the system. You use your willpower at the beginning to get the machine rolling. You start off with that willpower because that's limited, and you get the machine turning. It's like a starter in a car. Your starter's not running the whole time the vehicle's running. No, it's just to get it turned over until it fires, and then the starter shuts off. So that's essentially willpower. And then discipline is the repetition of doing your system, whatever that may be. So you put these systems in place, and that, the more detailed, the better. So like for the gym example, a good example would be leaving your gym shoes right at your bedside. So that way when you sit up out of bed, your shoes are right there at your feet. And even better, even more automated, just if you go to the gym in sweatpants or you go to the gym in basketball shorts, get used to sleeping in them. And then that way you're automating this. So that way there's nothing, you're going to be sweating in them anyways. So what does it matter? Just leave them on when you go to sleep. And then it's that much less that your brain has to focus on. Less decisions, less fatigue. You're automating. It's a system. So that way you can just get up and go. You're out the door before you even consciously realize it. That's the discipline. Willpower, get it started. Create a system, discipline to keep that rolling, keep that machine turning. And then I'm sure you guys are wondering, what next? What after discipline? So many people fall off of this, but the problem is use that discipline. And if you start to fall back a little, you can shoot a burst of that willpower back into it to keep it going. But you'll get to a point, you keep this machine turning until you get to the point where it becomes a habit. And that differs for everybody. There's so many studies on how long it takes to become a habit, but typically what they say is anywhere from 20 to 30 days, somewhere around the 1 month mark. If you can get to that 1 month mark, then you're pretty much good. There's a lot of studies that say that that's not long enough too. A lot of people say that it's actually 60 days, 2 months or so, somewhere in there. But and for my experience, if you can cross that 1 month mark, you're looking good. But that's not to say that you can ease back, because then you're doing the opposite of what you need to do. You keep that discipline just to be sure, and then you'll know when it becomes a habit and it kind of idles itself. Ah, man, you guys having fun? This is fun. I love these bonus episodes. I know, so I'll kind of give you some, ideas of the stats here, but the bonus episodes, I love them. They're so refreshing. And don't get me wrong, I love the Monday release, the interview episodes too. Those are a lot of fun. I love those too. And I know you guys love those too, because I'm getting 4 times the amount of listens on the interview episodes than I am on these solo bonus episodes. Except for episode 6, Confidence and Bravery, and then episode 3, What Are We? Those two are right up there with the interview ones, which is pretty cool, because those ones I really I really put my heart and soul into those. Those ones I'm proud of those ones, and same with Gratitude. That one I love as well. But yeah, it's cool to see the ones that mean the most to me right up there with the interview ones. So thank you guys for that. And again, if you guys are enjoying this, give me a follow and tell somebody about it. Share it. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. But I love these bonus episodes. It's so like just refreshing is a good way to put it. Like, I feel like I can really just, kind of inject more of myself into this. Like, these deeper true beliefs that it's just cool to be able to say my true thoughts like this. And I really just have fun with this. They're refreshing. I have a blast with the Monday interview episodes, but yeah, these bonus episodes are just so refreshing. Anyways, let's talk more about becoming great. That's what you guys are here for, right? Let's do this. I got some more ideas to talk about here. So, I'm about to say something that is probably controversial, but if you disagree, how's that working out for you? So, before I say this, you need to define greatness in your own words, because greatness is different for each individual. So figure out what that means for you and then apply what I talk about, because every individual person, they all have their own definitions and interpretations. So keep that in mind. All right, here goes nothing. You don't need to work hard to be great. And I'll also say this. You don't need to work hard to be successful. Brody Frye, of all people, have you lost your fucking mind? I can already hear friends and family from distant lands near and far saying that. And the reason this is funny to me is because I have always been like that, where you need to work hard. I was always such an extremely hard worker. Both of my parents and all of my family, uncles and my grandparents and all of them, everybody I was related to was such hard work. I was surrounded with extremely hard workers. So it was natural for me. Everybody around me worked. It was literally like you work from the crack ass of dawn until the work was done. And when the work was done, you jumped into the garden and did some weeding or dug up potatoes. And we had a blast with that. A little side story. Me and my sister used to have a blast digging up potatoes because we always had the red potatoes, and then we had the gold potatoes, and we'd always just pretend we were miners, just mining up gems. I'd have the pitchfork, and I'd just be digging them up, breaking the dirt loose, and then my sister would be digging her hands in there and be like, Brody, I got rubies. Brody, I got gold. So good memories. I love it. But that was actually on the days that we weren't working till literally sunset or well into the dark, with headlamps on. But yeah, just surrounded with hard workers. So it came natural to me, and I thought that that's what you had to do. That was the only option. But and I'm going to kind of tie this in here too, but I didn't grow up religious at all, which I'm actually grateful for, because now that I'm an adult, I can discover my own path, my own beliefs at my own pace, unbiased. I can do my own research and come up with my own conclusions. And with everything, there's extremes on all sides. And, I love picking things that mean something to me from everywhere, and, collecting my own hypothesis, just kind of, taking what I believe, and I can create this belief without having beliefs stuffed down my throat when I was a child. So I'm grateful for that, to be able to come up with these conclusions on my own and keep an open mind and learn, because I didn't have anything stuffed down my throat. So, now I can pick things from everywhere. But anyways, the reason I wanted to tie that in is because, again, being an adult now, the work ethic, it's still crucial to have a good, strong work ethic, but you don't have to work your ass off. You don't have to get out there and, heat stroke. So the reason I wanted to tie in the religious story was because like that, as an adult, I can start to see these things and pick up on patterns and realize, come to my own conclusions and see hey, I've been working this hard for this long and something's not working. I also see people around me working just as hard or harder and not getting anywhere. And I like to be observant, and after a certain amount of time, it's taken me long enough, but after a certain amount of time, it dawned on me maybe this isn't the way. Maybe this, like I said before, everybody's got their own definitions of greatness or success. But for my definition of all those, this isn't working. Now, I've been working from the time I could, stand up and follow my dad around the sheds at the farm. But on payroll at 13 years old and working just as hard ever since, and call it coming up on 13 years now, it's you'd think after 10, you'd think after 5 or even a year, you'd see a difference. But more and more each day, I'm realizing time's just slipping by. And, again, different definitions for different people, but I'm, entering my prime or in my prime right now. And it's this is a special time. This is a time to really just kick ass and push hard. But there's different ways about that is what I'm trying to get across. You don't need to work hard. Take it from me. I've been doing it long enough. You don't need to work hard. It doesn't work. So you guys are probably all super confused, which is good because that means you're learning. So we'll get into this. We'll get into my explanation for this, and so I don't continue to get called crazy for this. So I'll try to give you a good explanation. So here it is. I would find myself constantly working hard and not getting anywhere. And finally, I put it together. I was working hard at so many things. I've always had so many ideas, and there were so many things that I just had my attention on, and I was just working really hard. You can work as hard as you want, but if you're spread that thin, you're not going to get anywhere. How long is that going to take if you're working on however many projects you got? Everybody's got so many projects. If you're working on all of these and you're trying to work hard, you're never going to get any of them done. The key, and this is why I say you don't need to work hard. This is the secret. The key is focus, and not just focus. Confident focus. Because when you spread yourself out like that, when you're doing all these things at once, working super hard because you want them all to work, no, what you're doing is hedging your bets because you're afraid of failure. And what you're doing is expressing yourself. You're afraid that you're going to fail, and that's why you're hedging your bets. The greats use confident focus. There's no lack of confidence. There's no hedging the bets because they already know that they're going to be successful. That's in their heads. If you are hedging your bets or working on all these different projects, you're already telling yourself that you think that you're going to fail at least multiple of them. You're hoping that one of them's going to work out. And that's not the way to climb. That's not how you become great. So many people are just working their jobs and they're like, but why haven't I gotten anywhere yet? But I'm working so hard. Don't I? I deserve it. I deserve it because I'm working so hard. Don't you see? No, it's not about the work. It's not about working hard. It's about that confident focus on what you know you need to do. And then the greats that you see, because I know there's going to be people that say this, what about all these people that have accomplished all these different things? They didn't do all of it at once. They didn't work hard and get everything done. It's not like they're just like working hard and chipping away at everything. No. Focus. They did something. They focused their attention, knocked it out. Not hard. They just knew that they could trust and believe in themselves. So they dove head first. Leap and the net will appear. You jump with total confidence and it works because they knew, not the slightest sliver of doubt in their mind. And after that, you jump again. Same confidence. And that's how these greats become great. Because they're not afraid of themselves. Because they're not afraid of failure. They're not hedging their bets because, hopefully one of these things will work out. No, they know what they focus on is gonna work out because they're in it 100%. That's how people become great. That's how people become successful. And if you want to argue that, then continue to do what you do and work yourself into your grave. This is a personal struggle for me especially because of the ADHD. I'm just always all over the place, and it's normal for me to have multiple things in my mind, but you focus. If I can learn to focus this attention, success is inevitable. You laser in on something and you can't go wrong. It's that simple. Like, it's literally putting your mind to something, but trusting yourself, knowing you're capable, knowing you can do it. And you're always going to have these people that say, I tried that. I know exactly what you're talking about. It didn't work for me. I tried to start my own business. Well, everybody's tried to start their own business. The thing is having that 100% confident focus. Because these people, you'll hear them say, well, I don't have time for to work on this project, or I'm working. I got my job gets in the way. I can't do that. I can't do this. It's always I can't. And you're putting that in your head. First of all, is a major issue. Second of all, you're trying to leap with your foot still on the edge. It's like trying to walk without picking your other foot off the ground. Like, you take a step forward and then it's like, duh, you can't take the next step without lifting that foot off the ground. So it's that fear that kills people. People that say they've tried, they're not believing in themselves. They weren't in 100%. If they're not leaping, they're not in 100%. They're keeping their foot on the ground, or at least one of them. All those excuses are just one form or another of leaving your foot on the ground because you don't believe in yourself. And that is the exact reason. No other reason. That's the reason why you failed. You can pick anything you want to do. You leap full faith. Like, how many stories have you heard about human beings in insane situations, extreme conditions, extreme situations that just pull off miracles because like something that you can't even explain because they were under extreme stress. You force things to happen. If you there's a story about Hernan Cortez that he conquered the Aztec Empire. He ordered his 600 men to burn the ships when they landed, which sends a clear signal there's no turning back. There's only one option, and that's to succeed. You put yourself in extreme situations and you cancel all of the fallback plans, and it forces you that one option. It's a beautiful thing, and most are scared to do it for good reason, but that's why you're not growing to your full potential. That's what the greats do. They're not afraid to put themselves in that extreme situation because they know with full faith 100% that they can succeed, and they will succeed because they do this, and the majority don't. So, you beautiful people, put yourselves out there. You can do it. Just have faith in yourself. Know what you need to do. And if you have a billion different things you want to work on or do, pick one. It really doesn't matter. Just lock in on one and just laser that. Just hammer it. And then you'll actually complete it. And you'll see that this is true. And from there, pick another one and just hammer that one. So you just pick them out and just annihilate them and just continue that. And you'll figure this out for yourself. It's awesome. So, all right, guys, that is all that I got for you on this lovely Wednesday. I hope you love this. I hope you got something out of it. I really put my heart into this one as well. So, I really like these ones that I really dive deep. So hopefully it spoke to you guys. Hopefully there's somebody out there that needed to hear this, and I really hope that I helped somebody for the better. That would be amazing. So thank you guys so much again. Any thoughts, questions, or concerns, or ideas for future topics, please reach out to me at themindhikingpodcast@gmail.com or on Instagram, Brody_Frye_63. That would be awesome. I'd love to hear from you guys. Have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. Don't forget to laser in. Rock on. You guys are amazing. Love you all. Peace.